Welcome to Ask China, a special series focusing on important subjects related to the Chinese political system. In today's episode, we'll touch upon trade and the economy. In the past year, China was something of a shining light in a pretty gloomy year for global economic performance. Against the backdrop of nearly 20% drop in cross-border investment, data from China's Ministry of Commerce shows that more than 60,000 foreign-funded enterprises were established in China, an increase of nearly 70% year-on-year. Does this really come as a surprise? When China and the US are going through rounds of negotiations, what bothers ordinary people? What questions do online users have in mind for the Chinese Ministry of Commerce? For more, I'm pleased to be joined by Dr. Song Wei, Associate Research Fellow at the Chinese Academy of International Trade and Economic Cooperation under the Ministry of Commerce. And by the way, this series will be aired both on CGTN's new media platform as well as on TV. The main idea is for our guest on site to answer questions and react to comments collected from our viewers. So, Dr. Song, welcome to Ask China.
Thank you, Xin.
Thank you. Now, let's go straight to the questions that we have collected from our viewers online. And this question from the Q&A website Quora by a friend called Lorraine Demoré. And the question goes, which industries are the most promising for long-term investment in China?
Actually, according to the newest data released by China's Ministry of Commerce, the industries such as manufacturing, high-technology manufacturing, and information are enjoying the fastest growing speed compared with other industries. And to be specific, that high-technology sectors include R&Ds and designs and the informations. They all grow very fast.
All right, as I mentioned in the beginning of this discussion, last year there were 60,000 foreign-funded enterprises in China, and that was an increase of almost 70%. The total amount of foreign investment that was used reached $135 billion, a record. Why was China so attractive last year?
Oh, that's a good question. Why China has maintained a very stable market or preferential market against the gloomy global economy. The capitals and expertise that foreign companies has brought to China has overchanged the whole scenario of our economy. So in last year, we have pushed forward a lot of measures to open wider to the outside world. To be specific, that is, we have shortened the negative list. In the older versions, they have listed, I think, more than listed 95 items on the list. And last year, we have shortened it to the 45 items.
So against the gloomy global investment prospect, China is a shining spot, a lot of opportunities. That's why they came here. I understand there will be a mention of prohibition of the so-called forced technology transfer from a foreign company to a Chinese company. Well, this has been one of the issues at the center of the trade dispute between China and the United States. Why is China explicitly banning such transfer if, as China said, it didn't really happen in the past either?
First, it's a direct response to United States accusation, because that in the Section 301, they said that China has used an administrative means to force the foreign companies to do technical transfer to China. And after their investigations, that it's proved that accusation is groundless. And so this time we have just clearly states in the law that this, if we use the administrative measures to enforce the technical transfers, it is against the law. So it reflects the determination of our opening up and inclusiveness.
Okay. I'm sure there are a lot of viewers who are very interested in how to set up a company in China, given the prospects and opportunities that they're looking at. Let's take a look at this short video.
Mi pregunta es, si yo quisiera hacer negocio en China, poner un negocio en China, ¿qué facilidades me daría?
I don't know whether he's asking the airports, the roads, or the food, the markets, or specific office buildings, or I don't know. What can you think of?
I can give you a concrete examples because they will get a lot of facilities in the encouraged secretaries. For example, in Shanghai Free Trade Zone, a pilot free trade zone, we call that, because we call it pilot, it's a test. If these policies succeed, we will expand it to the whole country. And within the Shanghai pilot free trade zones, non-Chinese residents can get easier application to China's green card. Even they can just bring the authorizations, the recommendations from the FTZ authorities. So after they get the Chinese residents, they can enjoy the equal rights with Chinese residents on the rights of purchasing house and schoolings.
Wow, that's really important. But what kind of understanding should they acquire? How much should they know about China before they come here? And where can they get these information?
If you want to know this kind of information, you can easily get the information on the website, both on the Ministry of Commerce and also the NDRC, that is the National Development Reform Commission. And moreover, those two websites also have inquiry columns. That means the questioners can have direct contact with the administrator.
So some foreign investors are worried about unfair treatment in China because they think that the Chinese government will treat preferably or provide subsidies to state-owned enterprises. Is that a valid concern for foreign investors?
It's really the concern is not necessary because we guaranteed the pre-establishment national treatment. That means we will treat the foreign investors as equal as the domestic companies, and they will all their legal rights will be protected under the general regulations of China's law.
Well, you mentioned the car industry, and I understand since the beginning of this year, a lot of things have happened in this sector. For instance, Tesla established its first gigafactory outside the United States. BMW invested €3 billion in factories in China. And then in the telecom sector, the UK telecom giant BT also started to provide direct internet service to Chinese customers. So what does that say about business environments for foreign enterprises in China?
It means our environment is more favorable. And just as you mentioned, the Tesla, and it is the first case that China has given a guarantee to foreign automobile manufacturers the wholly ownership in China. So I think it just sent a very positive signal to the outside investors that China's market is open and welcome to all the investors who is willing to contribute to China's development.
All right. Well, another subject everybody is asking about is the trade war, for instance. We have this question from Cora, Shane Rooney, who asks, in a US-China trade war, which country, any in the world, would benefit the most? Is there anybody benefiting from these trade wars?
Okay, as you know that both United States and China are big powers. If they still in the trade tensions, no one will benefit. And from the United States part, that you know that last October, their trade deficit is become the widest since the last 10 years. And also, you know that in United States, they have the consumption tax. And with this tax, and everybody will suffer. Besides that, the whole world economy is also influenced because this tension will bring uncertainties and tensions to the whole world. That the investors is very intense on that. And they are waiting for they can get a conclusion and a consensus.
Another friend, Ankura Bavish, asks, what's the worst-case scenario of the US-China trade war?
Everybody will suffer because that if the tensions still exist, they will lead to the lower environment, lower consumption, and lower production, and everybody's life will be negatively influenced. So I think at that time, nobody will support that. They cannot. Everybody will support. They can get a consensus.
Okay. Final subject, the Belt and Road Initiative. Let's take a look at this.
We all know the One Belt, One Road initiative, which is strongly imposed by the Chinese government. What should us, Mexican companies, do to be able to get into?
So what should Mexican companies do?
And generally, the Belt and Road Initiative is an open development strategy. That means all the partners who are interested in participating are welcomed. And as for the Mexican companies, I think first they should know more about the laws and the regulations of the targeted market, and then they should make a concrete analysis of this market. And I think and additionally, they should keep in contact with Chinese enterprises in order to search for the cooperation opportunities.
Well, Mexico's former ambassador to China commented that for Latin America, the timing of China's Belt and Road Initiative couldn't have been better. What do you think he was talking about?
Actually, geographically speaking, we are very far away. China is far away from the Latin American and the Caribbean countries, but they are all emerging powers. That means they will have a great influence on the world economy and the prosperity. So it is the utmost for us to cooperate. And actually, the Belt and Road Initiative just provide a golden key for the two sides. And this initiative will provide both sides the golden opportunities to coordinate on the policy dialogue, and also provide the companies to constructing more infrastructure projects and to do more cooperation on the financial sectors.
Thank you very much, Dr. Song Wei from the Chinese Academy of International Trade and Economic Cooperation under the Ministry of Commerce. For more discussion, we have a question for our online viewers. Is the China-US trade war still inevitable? Please feel free to go to CGTN's Facebook, Twitter, and other social media platforms to leave your comments. Thank you very much for watching Ask China. And that's all for this edition of The Point with me, Liu Xin. As always, follow me on Facebook and Twitter using the handle The Point with LX. Download the application called CGTN to watch the show on your mobile devices, or go to YouTube and look for CGTN The Point. Thanks for watching. You've got The Point.